I told y'all this is a new laptop. Can everybody hear me now? Everybody test, test, test. Because I probably forgot to turn on my audio because that's how I roll too. So everybody let me know if you can hear me now. Oh, there you go, Becky. Becky's got me on. We know we have sound now. Okay. So just to let y'all know, I'm using a new. Yeah, it always says. Okay, I'm on a new laptop, so that's why also the setup is all kind of new. So there's that. Okay, so as I was saying when you couldn't hear me before, because I'm sitting over here rattling like an idiot, we put a post out earlier today and let y'all know if you wanted to decorate along with us, you could. Obviously, if you don't have these exact cutters, you didn't have to have the exact cutters, but if you had like the swimsuit or any kind of swimsuit or anything like that, you could decorate along with. I have my friends here since you guys couldn't hear me before when I was introducing. We have Miss Becky and Miss Patty here, so they are hanging out with me tonight decorating. So anyway, yeah, if you guys want to decorate along with, you can, or you can just watch. Our keyword tonight is summer. If you put in summer, you're going to get a lot of fun links. One of the links you're going to get tonight is to links on our online shop where you can purchase these cutters. They're designed and printed by us. This is a pool floaty. We're doing it as a swan tonight, but you can make various designs with that if you want, and also the one-piece swimsuit. This one is by the Cookie Boutique. That is not our design, but if you wanted to put summer in, follow links for this. Okay, we're going to go. I feel weird. I have a cord behind me, so I feel like I'm going to knock my light over. Hey guys, how are you? I'm seeing everybody joining. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started on our swan floaty. And just so you know, I'm teaching online, but at the same time, my ladies here in front of me, you can see them on our screen. They are going to be decorating along with me. Hey, Miss Maureen, how are you? Okay, so the first color that we are going to be working with is going to be this darker pink color. Now, all the colors I'm using tonight are a medium flood consistency. The only difference that we're going to be using is our pink. Our light pink we're going to be using, we have that in two consistencies. We have it in flood and we have it in a thicker piping consistency. Let me go ahead. I'm going to zoom in on my screen a little bit. That way you guys can see a little bit closer to what I'm doing. And the ladies here can see a little closer to what I'm doing. Are you guys good? You good? Okay. All right, so we are getting out this darker pink color, this flood. And I'm just going to cut off the end of my bag here. Here's a tip for you if you have not watched me before or don't know. When you're cutting, these are tipless bags, tipless icing bags. When you're cutting them across, to get a rounder, you want your icing to come out rounder out of the end. You want to make sure that you have your seam facing up and you're cutting across the end of the bag here. It's going to give your icing a more rounded tip coming out. Okay. So, hey Cindy, how are you? Okay. Hey Peggy, how are you? My Wednesday is good. Okay. So what we're going to do first is I did the same thing on the ladies' cookies here to make it easier on everyone. I did a little sketch here so they know what lines to follow along. So just so everyone else, so you know what we're going to be doing. This center circle here and this little teardrop shape up here is going to be, actually we're going to do that first. I lied to y'all. Get your blue out. We're going to do blue first. Because we're going to make this look like it's like pool water on the back side here of the cookie, okay? So we're going to fill this in with the blue, and then we're going to go around with the pink. But just to explain what every part of these are, this part and this part is like the cutouts, right? So this is the center cutout of the float. This is going to be like the little cutout area of like the swan's neck. Those are going to be blue, and then we are going to be doing the pink, the darker pink around for the float, and then these two little sections right here are going to be the beak part of the swan. Okay, so get your blue out, and you ladies can cut it the same way we just cut the other one. Now, when we're putting this blue down, oh, you have a bad storm, Denise? That stinks. Hey, Pat. We are going to be putting the blue down. So first we're going to outline the little section. So you're going to start in the center here. And we are going to outline this oval. And we're not going to put a ton of icing down for this. It's going to be a real thin layer. Hey, Miss Patricia, how are you? So just pipe on a real thin layer. You don't want it super duper thick. I'm just going to add a little bit, and I'm actually going to use my scribe, or like you have in front of you, a little boo-boo stick. The ladies here, or if you want to use a toothpick, whatever you want to use. And I just kind of spread out the icing in a real thin layer. I don't want it super thick because I want it to look like it's kind of recessed behind the pool floaty, if that makes sense, like it's underneath of it. And then we're also going to do the same thing to this little teardrop shape up here too. Thank you. Hey Linda, how are you? Okay. Now, the ladies in front of me, I gave you guys a little pump dust bottle of the jewel dust. I have the same thing here. So this is a white, it looks kind of silver, but it's not. It's just a white translucent edible jewel dust or an edible glitter. And then all we're going to do is, on those two parts that you put the blue down on, you're just going to give it a little pump. And it's just going to give a little bit of sparkle to our icing there. You don't have to do this. This is completely optional. I like doing it though because I like glitter. So we have a cake decorator here who's trying her hand at serious cookie decorating tonight.
That would not be me.
Okay, how are you guys doing? You good? Oh, yay. Okay, they're doing so good, guys. Okay, so we'll wait on Becky because she's finishing up her blue. You're done. Okay. Okay. You Yep, you just press down on the bottom of it, or the top of it, I mean, and it just pumps out kind of like it would if it were a liquid. Yes, Peggy. You know we love glitter, Peggy. So on everybody that's not here, if you see it as I move it, you can see it shimmering on the cookie. My lighting is really bright, so you'll catch that. But you can see it's even on the surround part. That'll be covered up with icing though. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we don't have to wait at all. We can go do the next step right away. You're going to go back in with our dark pink, the one I said we were going to start with originally. And we're going to outline around the whole swan. The only part you're not going to outline on is these two parts right here that are going to be the black and the white part of the beak. Okay, so if you want to watch me first, you can. Also, I do not do the tail yet. I leave the tail undone. That way it'll look like a little separate piece on it. Okay, so I'm going to start up here. Now when I come up here with the neck part, I like to kind of just come straight across because the beak is going to end right here. It's going to tuck down a little bit. And also when you're going around those blue parts that you just put down, just be careful because you know that they're still wet. Okay, so that's the main outline that you're doing. You're also going to outline around the middle blue center section that we put down too. And I know I'm casting shadows probably with my hand, but y'all should be able to see. Okay, so then once you have all of that outlined, you're just going to flood in that whole big section. And don't be afraid to put enough icing down. I know some people, when they first start doing cookies or even into it a little bit, you're always afraid of it running over. If you do a nice outline, you shouldn't have much issues, especially, I mean, like my ladies here with me, I make my icing a little bit thicker, my flood, it's not super duper runny. So you shouldn't have any issues with anything running over. And the more icing you put down, the more puffy it's going to be. And I'm just using my tool. If I didn't get all the way to the edge here by where I did my outline, I just take my tool and just move the icing around to where I want it to be. They are, Peggy. They can see what I'm doing on my TV. So my big TV here, they're looking up and they can see what I'm doing, but I'm sitting in front of them as well. Although it's probably easier to see it on my TV than me because my stand's in the way. I think Becky's watching me live on her phone, so there's that. And it's really quiet in here right now because I think only my husband's here hiding somewhere. Yes, puffy's the way to go, right? Yeah, this pink is actually, it's really pretty. It's one of my favorite pinks. It's Pinkalicious by Artisan Accents. And I use the same gel color to make this pink and the lighter pink that we're going to be using. I just use less for the lighter. Hey, Allie, how are you? So I buy this Jewel Dust is from, I ordered it from the Cookie Countess. It's 100% edible. I also use Diamond Dust from the Sugar Art. What trick do I have to get the gel out of the bottle? You're always going to have a little bit that's left in the bottle. There's just no way around that. I usually just keep it tipped upside down when I store it. That way it's all down towards where I want it to open up with the cap. But you're always going to still have a little bit left in there. It's just the nature of gel. Okay. How are you ladies doing over there with your pink?
It's learning to color all over here.
Yeah, it's staying inside the lines.
Well, my hole was too big. I had to cut it again because it wasn't on the, what do you call it, the same.
Wanda says hi, girls. Wanda Grice says hi.
Hi, Wanda.
Hi, girl. Wish you were here. Has she signed in yet?
I haven't seen her. Okay. We're going to let them finish their pink, and I'll talk real quick about what we're going to be doing on the other ones. And also I'm going to talk to you real quick too, because one of the reasons why we did this the way we did it tonight, and we have some guests, and also the way that, not even just them having here as a guest, but just to see how we work through things. So if you haven't heard of it, we have a Cookie Crew. It's a monthly subscription group where I teach you how to decorate cookies. This is really similar to what we will do every month. We have 2 different tutorials. We sit down and I walk you through all of the different designs. We usually do at least 5 cookies in our main tutorial, and then our bonus we do a couple of additional ones. There are different themes every month, and this is very similar to what we do. So ahead of time I'll tell you all the icing colors, the consistencies, tools you'll need. You also get 2 cutters from us that are custom 3D printed cutters every month sent to you as part of your subscription. And you just walk through and we do this. So this is very similar to what you would see. So we wanted to give you guys just a chance to kind of see how that is. That's why we did the post earlier today and said if you want to decorate along with us, here's the colors we're going to be using, here's designs we're going to be using. So just to give you guys a little taste of what it may be like. How you ladies doing over there?
When I cut the hole bigger, it makes it round.
Yeah.
Oh well.
They're doing well though.
We're doing good.
Peggy says it's fun having guests. She's glad that y'all are here. Peggy, you should have joined us. I know you've come to one of my classes. Okay, I'm going to move my swan off to the side for a sec while they're wrapping up.
I'm wrapped.
You're wrapped? You good? Okay. So if y'all want to move, or anybody else that may be decorating along with us or anything, if you want to move it out of the way, just so you don't stick your hand in it anywhere. We'll come back to it here in just a bit. Hey Darla, how are you? Okay, so on the popsicle, that's what we're going to be working on next. We're going to do this in a few different steps. So the ladies here have, same thing I have. I just kind of did a rough sketch on them so they can see what we're going to be doing. We're going to do this in two different steps. We are going to do the little stick portion down here, and then we're going to have three different colors here. This is kind of like a layered popsicle. So one color is going to be a light blue color that we have that we used also on our swan a second ago. We're going to do a light pink and then a light purple. On the very top, we have a fun little mix of some sprinkles that we're going to sprinkle on the top little portion here of our popsicle. Okay? But we're going to do it in different steps because if you did it all at once, it's going to kind of all melt together, whereas if you do it like this, it's going to separate those layers out. So, oh, you work too late? That stinks. Desiree, you're on vacation? Have fun. Okay, so we have this tan color here, and by the way, we're also going to be using this on our swimsuit cookie as well. This is going to be the color that we're using for our popsicle stick here. So you want to have that out and go ahead and cut open that bag. And we're going to start just by outlining our little popsicle stick here and then flooding in that little section.
Cut it.
Here's the same. Cut it across.
Yep, they're all our bags tonight are getting cut the exact, well, I take that back. One bag's going to be cut a little bit different, but all of the ones, the main ones we're using are going to be cut the exact same way. Hey Teresa, how are you? We do, Amanda. Yes. So the flamingo floaty and our little swimsuit or one-piece swimsuit cutter, we have those for sale right now in our online shop. So if you put in our keyword and then follow the prompts after the live or whenever you go to follow them, we have a live link to our shop there that you can go and order those. Hey Teresa, how are you? Okay, so the next color we're going to do, we're going to skip this section here because if we flooded this in right now, it's just going to melt together with this. There won't be any definition. So we're going to skip this bottom section and we're going to flood in our center section here. Let's go ahead and use our light pink flood. So you don't want the one that has the P on it, you want the other one. So here in my classes, my live classes, this light pink, we had two consistencies of. We have a flood consistency and then we have another one that's a tad thicker. I write P on the bag so they know that it stands for piping. That's your thicker one, so you can distinguish between the two. Alright, so we're going to cut this one open just the same way we did the others. And you're going to do the exact same thing. And you don't have to follow along precisely with the lines I put down. They're just kind of there as guides. And we're going to outline and flood in this center section. How you ladies doing over there? Hey, okay?
I'm a shaker. Is that bad?
No. So just for reference, I'm going to ask on here, if nobody is, that's not a big deal either. Did anyone decide to decorate along with us on the live tonight? Even if it's not obviously the same exact cutters. If you decided, if you already had a floaty cutter or a swimsuit cutter and you decided to decorate, I'd like to know if anybody is. Okay, so once you're done with this part of the popsicle, we're going to move that off to the side here for a few minutes. We're going to let these start crusting over. And I'm just going to shove mine up here out of the way. And then let's come over here to our swimsuit. We're going to start working on some things on here.
So we're done with this one.
How's our cake lady doing? You
The
good?
popsicle looks so much better.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna put this over here.
Swan looks like he's deflating.
Did you, Kristen?
Not around on
Okay.
the edge.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a fun wet-on-wet method on this swimsuit. We're going to do it to where it kind of looks like sprinkles, because we're going to be doing sprinkles on our popsicle, so I thought it would be cute to do a similar type pattern on our swimsuit. So just to walk you through, yes, I just drew this on. You can make it all one piece. I decided to make it like a little two-piece on here with a high waist. You can do all kinds of different things on this cutter and make it different ways you want. I did an order today. If you went back and saw on the page, I posted a picture where I did it all one-piece white suit with the flamingo on it. So this is versatile. You can use it in a lot of different ways. I drew this on here for myself and the ladies just so they kind of have a guide to follow by. So what we're going to do is you're going to get out your light pink that you were just using, that we used on the popsicle, that light pink flood. And you're also going to want to have handy the purple and the blue. So if you have not, I know we've used the blue, but if you want to go ahead and just cut open the purple, we're going to be using that as well. And I would suggest not to cut it open too big. You want to be more conservative. I always tell everyone that. Cut your bag open more conservatively. If you need to cut it bigger down the line, you can do that too. Okay. So we're going to start with the largest part down here, which is the bottom. So we're not going to do this little strip. This little strip we're going to do in a darker pink, but we're going to do it in steps like we usually do. So we're going to start off by outlining the whole bottom portion of our swimsuit here. I know, right, Belinda? Belinda says, what size is that suit? A size 6? Let me tell you, this suit wouldn't fit me. I can tell you that right now. She said it wouldn't fit my big toe. Look. Yeah, even if it did fit me, I'm going to tell you, my body isn't going to look like this in it.
In the first place, I wouldn't include on. Tell you the truth.
Alright, so I'm just kind of moving my icing around. Any little spots I maybe didn't outline all the way to, just to help it smooth out here. I'm going to turn down my brightness just a little bit on my screen because I don't want it to wash this out. There we go. Okay. So then what we're going to do is, you want to have, and you can even use white too if you want to, if you feel adventurous and want to throw some white in there, you can do too. I am going to show you what we're going to do for like this wet on wet. So I'm just going to grab the blue first, and I'm just going to start picking some spots and piping on tiny little lines. And I'm going to put them in all kinds of different directions. This is going to look like little sprinkles on the suit. But because it's wet on wet, it's going to sink in, so the whole design is going to end up looking flat, all one kind of layer look. It's not going to look like we piped the sprinkles on after the fact. And then you can also grab your purple, and you're going to add with that as well. And like I said, if you want to add white, you can do that too. The ladies are so quiet here, they're concentrating. So a wet on wet technique is a really good fun thing you can do. Even if, let's say you don't have a lot of stencils, if you didn't have a sprinkle stencil, you can do something like this and still get the same effect. You could even do, like, if you don't want to do them all as like the piped line sprinkle, you could do little dots. You can do whatever you want. Like, I might even go in here and add just a couple of cute little dots in white. Because the sprinkles we're using have like the little like ball sprinkles in them too. So you could mix it up and throw some of those in too. You know what, Peggy? It's really no different. It's really no different. You what?
It looks like she's been splattered with the paintbrush.
It doesn't look anything like that, that's for sure. I think mine's cut wrong on that one.
Okay, so since we already have everything out, we're going to do the exact same thing on both sides of the top. I'm going to leave the center knot, the little center knot part undone, because we're going to make that the same darker pink color as the band on the top of the bottoms, okay? So you'll want to go back to your pink you were just using, the light pink, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to outline. And I left, if you can see on the sketch I did here for the ladies, I left a little bit of room right above the cup, because we're going to put some flesh color in there to match where like the belly part, where the open belly part is. So once you have those outlined, then you're just going to flood those in. And my setup's all different. If you guys notice, like, my table's different. I'm not in my normal spot for my lives. I'm usually in my cookie room at my desk. But tonight I'm in my living room since I'm here teaching the ladies at the table. So it's a little bit of a different setup. My lighting is all different. It's in different spots than it normally is. So I'm kind of like out of my element a little bit, but we're rolling with it, right? Hey Angelica, how are you? Alright, so I'm going in the same thing I did with the bottom, and I'm just doing some wet on wet sprinkles on each of the sides here. And you really don't have to give too much pressure at all in the bag. You really just have to barely give anything at all, and then just kind of pipe your little line on it. It doesn't take very much at all. If you give too much pressure, you're going to get more of like a blob.
No, because I made it into lines, but like I said, she looks like she's got, my blue got a big hole.
Yeah.
Oh, you cut it big? Yeah, if you cut it big, that's why I always say to start conservative when you're cutting your bags.
She just has a splash painted.
There you go. She has a splash painted look.
She does.
Hey Liz, how are you?
Are we doing that on the bra too?
Yes. You're decorating 4th of July cookies? That's what I'm doing this weekend. How are we feeling over there so far? Eh?
I hadn't started putting the splash on there.
The smaller ones are better than, like I said, my poor flamingo looks like he's deflating.
Becky's struggling. What's happening?
What's happening there?
The blue is too big.
Everyone at home is probably cheering you guys on anyway, right?
I hope so.
Like I always tell everybody, it's just a cookie. You can eat it if you hate
Eat
it.
it. It doesn't look good.
Okay, I'm gonna give them a couple minutes to finish up their tops of their suits. You're doing 4th cookies too, Belinda? I know, isn't this cute, the little sprinkle? It's pretty adorable. Okay, I'm gonna scoot her off to the side. And we're gonna revisit our swan here in a second. If I pick it up and don't break it. Oh, I'm sure it's fine. These ladies here are their own worst critics, let me tell you. See, Bianca says that's right, y'all can do it.
Yeah, we're going back to the swan.
Yes, we're going back to the swan, and Patty was making a second swan.
She didn't like the first one.
She didn't like her first one.
I don't want mine either because it ran off the side.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. All we're gonna do is add the little tail on.
Okay.
Hot pink.
Because our ice, you'll want your hot pink back out. And we're just going to add on the little tail. So you want to go in and just be careful because the other icing is not completely dry. It's just starting to crust, so we gave it a little bit of time. So you're just going to outline and then flood that in. Stacy, so I have my, everyone that's in my group, my cookie crew, has it posted in the group there. I also wrote an ebook, and I have 4 cookie recipes and my icing recipe in that ebook. It is for sale to anyone on our website, but if you're in our cookie crew, you get it for half off. And it has the recipes, it has pictures with step-by-step instructions of mixing the dough, rolling the dough out, cutting the dough, mixing the icing, storage, all kinds of stuff. So we have that available too. Okay, so once you get your tail on, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab the white. So you want to get your white icing. And I'm going to turn my cookie because I'm right-handed and I don't want to smack my hand through the icing. The top little part that you can see here, that's going to be the little part that we are doing white. So you want to just outline and be careful up against the other icings that you've already put down. And you're just going to flood in that little section with white. That's going to be the top part of the beak. You're welcome. Becky's making all kinds of noises over here, y'all. She's a loud decorator, she says.
Well, and tonight. Usually I don't breathe.
Okay, so once you have the white down, we're going to push this back off to the side for a little bit. We want that just to crust up because we want the definition between the white and the black on the beak. Hey Christine, how are you? Okay, let's go back and visit our popsicle because that's had some time.
I have a question.
Yes.
I noticed that you left it a white area there. Do I need to go back and put white on there?
What area? Show me yours. You don't want to show me yours?
On this blue part, right here, it looks like it's half white on yours.
You mean here at the bottom of the beak?
Which one's the beak?
You see the little section that you just did with white? That's part of your beak. So the black's going to go below that. So he has
so
like...
on that blue, it looks like you had white. Or you didn't fill in that part about halfway.
Nope, it's filled in. It might just be up on my screen.
Okay.
You can see it right here if I hold it up.
Okay.
Can you see it on my cookie? It's filled in.
Yeah, it just looks like it's white.
It may look weird up on there.
Okay. All right.
Hey Christine, how are you? Yes, Gail. Yes. So the July meetup for everyone is going to be in Oklahoma. We'll be posting all the info about that here pretty soon. And then we're having another Texas meetup in August.
Is that the one in Weatherford?
Weatherford, yes.
I'm going to come to that one too.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do on the popsicle. We've had some time to let these two sections crust, so it'll give us the definition between the layers. Let's go ahead and grab the light blue. We're going to go to that. Hey Brenda, how are you? And we're going to go ahead and outline and fill in this bottom section of the popsicle. So again, be really careful when you're outlining up against the pink that you put down. It's not completely dry, it's just crusting. Summer is there in Idaho. Is it hot there? It's hot here in Texas, but not as hot as it can be. Sometimes it's well into the 100s here this time of year. We've been lucky so far.
Does that mean we're going to have ice and snow?
Oh, please don't say that. Becky is saying, does that mean we're going to have ice and snow this winter? I hope not.
Summer.
We moved here 6 years ago, and the first winter we were here, we had two massive ice storms back to back.
Was that when the Super Bowl was going on?
Probably.
That wasn't it.
How are y'all doing so far? A-okay?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, my popsicle looks great.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the purple, and this is the section that we're going to end up putting the sprinkles on the top. But when we do it, you're going to have to just keep in mind to be careful, because these other sections are not completely dry. They're just crusting. So it doesn't matter. If you get some sprinkles that trail down onto it, it's not a big deal. But if you really want to contain them to the top part, just be careful when you're putting them on. I'm going to move my popsicle upside down because it's easier for me to do against the icing that's still wet. So go ahead and get your purple out. Jennifer, you like snow? So I grew up in Indiana and I was around snow a lot. And then I moved to Florida where we have no snow. So I'm totally okay with never having snow here. The only time I care about seeing snow is on Christmas. Other than that, I could care less. Okay, so we're outlining the top part, and then you're just flooding in this whole section. Kathy, we're in Texas. We are in North Texas. We're around Dallas. Okay, so once you have the top part of the icing on this, like I said, if you want to have it more condensed at the top, and then if you want to trail some down, you can do that too. You just want, and you guys have a little bowl in between you, so just grab what you want. You want to just kind of start sprinkling it just all over. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just kind of start dropping pieces. This sprinkle mix has some like bigger pieces in it, so those I might take out and place where I want it rather than just letting that fall. But the smaller pieces, there's like hearts and stars, and this is a kind of a fun mix. So you can put where you want your stuff at. There's even like some tiny little, if you can see them, there's tiny little gold stars in this too. Sometimes with mixes like this, I'll like strategically place, like this one has stars, I'll kind of place stuff around where I want it because they're bigger. Oh, Kathy, I don't blame you with the snow. How you ladies doing over there?
Wonderful.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I just put my
I feel
hand-
like we should have like some background music or something on in here.
I just
I
put my
love my
hand.
popsicle.
She loves her popsicle.
I love mine, so I moved it and moved it.
Look at my popsicle.
Oh, it's very cute. That's very good. See, the cake lady can do cookies.
Yeah, wait till you see the other.
Okay, so that's it for the popsicle. As simple as that. It really doesn't take too much to do. It's an easy cookie. This would be a cute cookie if you want to throw it into like a summer mix or something. Very, very easy. Doesn't take a lot of effort. Okay, and it's super cute. Okay, so let's move that back. Let's revisit our swimsuit really quick. Oh, really? Oh, well, you'll have to come visit whenever I have any classes or meetups or anything like this. You should come visit. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so the rest of this won't take too terribly long. We're gonna grab our hot pink back, and we are gonna go ahead. I'm gonna flip my cookie upside down. It's just easier for me. And that little band that we left undone here above the bottoms, we're going to outline and flood that in with this darker pink. Where is a good spot for 4th of July fireworks in Dallas? So what area are you going to be at, Maria? Because Dallas is huge. And it really depends on what area you're going to be in. There's lots of good shows at a bunch of different areas of Dallas. For instance, I'm north of Dallas, and there's a lot of good shows up here by me, but I wouldn't necessarily tell someone to drive all the way up here. There's lots of other shows you can go to. And then for the center part here, like I said, there's like a little center knot. I'm just going to pipe that or flood that in a little bit with this darker pink in the center.
For the top.
Yeah, right in the center of the top. You all good? Okay. All right, so we have to add our last, one of our last pieces to our swan. We have a couple of things. Oh, that's really cute. It's cute. Okay,
What are we doing?
let's get our swan back.
Swan.
They all hate the swan. They're all not liking their swan.
Running off the edge. It looks so ugly.
Okay. So let's grab our black out. It's the color we need now. We're going to do the bottom part of our beak. You're staying at Magnolia Park Cities. Do y'all know where Magnolia Park Cities is? Me either. Do you know what that's close to, Maria?
I think I make it pink.
Oh, that's okay. You can go over the top of it with black. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. You're going to go, the last little part that shouldn't have really any icing on it is going to be the black part of the beak. So again, be careful where you're outlining up against that white. And we're going to bring this down because like I said, he has his little beak kind of, or she has their beak kind of like tucked in, right? I like this cutter too because like I mentioned earlier, you can make it other things. It doesn't have to be a swan. This has such a generic top on it. You could make this a lot of different designs as a floaty if you wanted to. Hey Carla, how are you? Okay, now once you have the bottom part of that beak on, we're going to add the eye, and the eye is super simple to make. So you want to have your white icing out, and I'll make sure Becky's ready too. I don't want to leave her in the dust. And you're just going to, I kind of just eyeball, I know that sounds funny, we're making an eye, but eyeball where you kind of want it. I kind of stick to like this general area over here right above the beak, and you just pipe on a white dot. And then right over the top of it, in the center part of it, you just pipe on some black right into the center. Easy peasy. Hey, Miss Cheryl. Okay. Now we're going to get to a fun part. We're going to have fun. Okay. So y'all should have your light pink. My ladies here have the P on it for the piping. This is your thicker pink. We are going to cut our bag a little different. We're going to cut it like a leaf tip because we're going to put wings on our swan floaty.
At the seam or?
So I'm going to show, if you guys want to watch, I'll show you how to do mine first. And this is for anybody at home too. I've shown this on a lot of different lives, but if you haven't ever seen it, this is how this is done. You want to have your bag to where that one seam is to the side. So normally when we were cutting it, the seam was facing up, but in this instance you want the seam to the side, and you want to have your bag kind of flattened out. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to cut like a V shape into the end of it. So at an angle, if you can kind of see where I'm going with my scissors, I'm not coming in straight in like this. I'm cutting in at an angle. And I'm cutting the other side so it looks like a V. So when I pull this little piece out, or it were to fall out, it looks like a V. Marie says, all I know is it's on North Central Expressway. Okay, well that's 75. So depending on where it is on 75,
Park Cities was before you get.
I don't know. I didn't recognize.
Park City was like Holland.
That's like super
Thanks,
North
Christine.
Dallas.
It is really North Dallas. Well, I can tell you that for up here around this area, McKinney has a really good show they put on. The city of Allen.
Tell her just to type in Park City fireworks.
Okay, so Patty says Google in Park City fireworks, and that'll tell you. I would put Park City, Texas fireworks, and that'll tell you kind of where you might be looking. Okay, I'm going to show you on the parchment paper here, and for the ladies, if you want to watch up there, you can see it, how this works. So you know we cut the V. You want to have the bag in your hand to where the seam is facing up at you. Okay? And all you're going to do is you're going to start applying. I'm going to do this up kind of out of the way. I don't want it where my cookie's going. You start applying pressure, and you can see it ruffles it. Right? So as you squeeze, and if you want to wiggle the bag a little bit, it'll wiggle it and make it kind of feathered like a leaf. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to build up just some little leaves here, or not leaves, little feathers on our swan. Okay? You do it.
You do it first.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do one, and then right next to it we'll do another. And normally this icing is a little bit thinner than I usually use. It's even stiffer usually than this, but it's been sitting, so it's going to soften a little bit. And then I also will go in and I'm going to do another layer right on top of it going back. Yeah, these are not cutters that anybody in Everway would probably have. You either have them, I guess, or you don't. Also, what I like to do, because I like glitter on every single thing, I'm going to go back in with the same jewel dust that we used earlier on the blue part, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the feathers here. Give them a little bit of shine. So if you can see as I move that, the little feathers there have a little bit of that shine from the jewel dust. They're so worried about their swan floaties, y'all. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this one. You could go in, you could add all kinds of other things if you wanted to. You could do designs on them, whatever you want. But this is pretty much the gist of it. It's your little swan floaty. Okay. The last cookie that we're going to do some work on is going to be our swimsuit, and we don't have a whole lot left to do on here. This is where I said we're going to go back in with this tan color. This is going to serve as our flesh tone color. So very carefully, I'm going to come in here, in this center section where there's no icing yet, you're going to outline and flood that in. That's going to be her skin. Yep, her tummy. And I'm not going to try to make it super puffy because, again, I want the swimsuit to look like it's sitting up more than her skin, obviously, if that makes sense. I don't want it to... I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. I want it to look a little more recessed.
In my case, if I put this on, mine would be puffier than that.
So like in this instance, I added a little bit, but I'm going to go in with my scribe, and I'm just going to move the icing down just a little bit to where it meets where I put that band at, just so I'm not adding more icing. I even contemplated when I was thinking about making this cookie of making like some lower cut little bottoms. You could put a little belly button on. There's a lot of really cute things you could do with it. I'm also going to flip my cookie. As I said earlier, I left a little bit of space. You don't have to do this, it's completely optional. But I left a little bit of space so I could come in here with the same color and add it for a little bit above her cups here. Her cups runneth over. So we're going to just pipe a line on. That's really all you need. It's not very much room there. Susan said, my tummy rolls over, so how should I do that? Listen, you are talking to the right person because, right? So when I shop for swimsuits, the very first thing I look for is tummy control. So there's that. If this swimsuit here, since it's high waist, if it had tummy control, I'd be all about that.
I'm tummy control my the whole thing.
So how did you ladies do? How are you feeling?
It's just a swan.
It's just the swan, they say. That's cute. That's cute, Becky. I like that.
Like that one?
Yes. Hey, Barbara. How are you? Okay, I'm going to wipe this off so I don't slide cookies through it. And then I'm going to show y'all, for the folks at home, we're going to show y'all these kind of together so you can get an idea. Maybe. I'll have to zoom out a little bit.
This one.
Okay. Cute, right? So like I mentioned earlier, if y'all are interested, we have these two cutters in our online shop. So if you want to order those, we do have it open now for that. This is not my cutter, but you know, you can find those a plethora of all kinds of different places. Another thing is our Cookie Crew doors are open right now. So if you are wanting to get in on that, you want to check that out. I posted a picture here on the main page of what we're doing this next month. Really fun summer camping theme. But if you're wanting to get on that, the doors will be open just for a few more days. So we have a lot of fun in there. Miss Becky that's here is in our group and she has a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's it. And the ladies here, I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a little bit on their cookies.
Oh, well, let me move this.
Don't you move this one! Okay, can you all see a little bit? I know you can't see real well, but they did such a good job. So here they're working on all their cookies. They did such a good job. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, well, I hope you guys had fun. I know we did. And we will talk to you guys here pretty soon. Of course, we'll be back next Wednesday for another live. If you guys have any questions about anything you saw, also if you put the keyword in and you follow the prompts, we have a product list on our website. So even for like other cutters we've used in other lives, any of these products, the Jewel Dust, colors that I use, anything like that, we put live and active links in. So you can go back and you can find products if you want to look for that. I think that's it for tonight, and we will talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great night. Bye.
The travel